You're listening to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. How we doing? How we doing? Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and the Indiana Fever bad girls of the WNBA. I'll preference it started there, but I just want to get right to it. The play of Kiki really taking Sophie Cunningham and slamming her to the floor. That one there has just accelerated major issues. Very dangerous play. Player can get seriously injured. Fortunately, she didn't land on her head. And I've been through this back and forth an entire year. Went over this last year with Kathy Engelbert as far as how's this going to work, or suspensions and fines and what should happen, and how does the WNBA look at it. And the WNBA has said over and over again that type of behavior is a form of competition. But when you get to the stage of somebody can get injured, then it's no longer that stage. Now, the Indiana Fever, and why do I say, as I mentioned before, I kind of talked about being a ghetto pack of dogs, and now it's advanced. You got to be the bad girls of the WNBA, because this type of behavior, we just saw it once. I mean, it's going to happen again and again and again. Now, Sykes getting into it, I mean, that was a little extra. And one of the things that for the players who play for the Indiana Fever, obviously, you got Bonner, you got Cunningham, you got Howard, everybody's coming over. One of the things is everybody does have a past, and there's a lot of friction, and, now they're all together on the same team, and they got to protect the field house, right? And when you get to Caitlin, and Caitlin Clark, I'd never seen the electricity. I haven't seen that type of electricity really until almost LeBron's opening night, where the crowd just elevated. But that crowd levitated in Indiana. I mean, Caitlin Clark took the court, nobody had seen her in a year. And here's where we gotta balance the table, and folks, we gotta call it as we see it. One thing we do is we're gonna be objective. We'll tell you it's our opinion, but at the end of the day, if it comes to truth and fact, it is what it is. And stopping Caitlin's gonna be a problem, right? Because now you've got too much action going on inside. She can just drift wherever she wants. And when you get the strength and conditioning and the extra strength that Caitlin has, so you took a 25, 30-foot range, and now you've put it out to 45 feet. I mean, she feels confident letting the ball go at that type of range. So throughout all the drama, right, and the WNBA, I mean, half the time, what is it? I mean, it's love and hip-hop, right? But this time we went past the boundary. We went accelerated a little too far. And now you got to look at this, because eventually, if Kathy doesn't change what's happening in the arena today, I'll tell you what you're going to have. You're going to have a melee, right? Eventually, you're going to have a big brawl, and that's going to spurt into the court. Who knows? It could spurt into the stands. I mean, Indiana Fever knows this because, you guys had Jackson, a couple Indiana Pacer players went in, Ron Artest, and they're in the stands, right? So eventually, if Kathy Engelbert and the WNBA allow this to go on, eventually you're going to end up in a big brawl and a big melee, right? Because the Indiana Fever players are there to protect their teammate. And that happened without Caitlin. And you got to give Sophie Cunningham, I'll tell you this, Money Mike keeps it objective. Sophie Cunningham came out, showed she's a baller, right? And when you take that court, and Indiana was struggling to light a fire, and that's where the Indiana Fever are going, really. You don't know who on which night, who's going to light the fire, right? Because Howard could light it one night. I mean, you got Boston can light it. I mean, Caitlin's going to be, I don't know what Caitlin's going to do, honestly, guys, because I told you it's unmeasurable greatness. And when I seen the levitation of all the fans and everybody started lifting up prior to the game because no one had seen Caitlin in a year, folks, that's unmeasurable. That's unmeasurable. Now, how are they going to put it all together? I mean, I saw a little sweat popping off the brow of Stephanie White. But, you got Sophie Cunningham came to the rescue. And I got to give Cunningham credit. Cunningham showed she's a baller, right? Now, can she do that for the rest of the season? I don't know. But we'll find out, because every night somebody's got to step in. And then Lexi Hole, you slam a player to the ground. Now I got to step in, right? Because Lexi Hole and Sophie, I mean, they're kind of like twins, right? They're bopping together. And the bopping is happening now. We all know that Sophia Cunningham, okay, is bringing the toughness that Stephanie White wants, right? So Stephanie White's not saying, hey, we're not going to be sugarcoating this thing. We're going to come after you, and we're going to body you if we have to body you. Now, the other competition, because it's so much prime time for the Indiana Fever, rightfully deserved, because at the end of the day, the fan base, one thing you can't argue, right? I mean, Angel Reese, you got a fan base. Caitlin Clark, you got a fan base, right? And the thing about it is it levitates, and I hadn't seen that until she walked on the floor in front of Brazil, changed the whole team, right? And so now you got other players. Mitchell's going to be hot one night. You don't know who's going to give you the business with the Indiana Fever. It's just the other team's got to counteract it, right? And you're going against the Mystics, but there's a lot of bad blood that's circulating out there, and that's why the Indiana Fever are the bad girls of the WNBA. Everybody knows about their past. Everybody knows what they did before they got there, but now they're all together as one. And when you bring all that under umbrella together as one, now you got to fight us as one. And when you got to fight us as one, good luck. Now, winning a game at the Fieldhouse, Money Mike's going to keep it honest. That's going to be hard to do, right? Because the Fieldhouse is rocking nothing but Indiana Fever. If you can get them on the road, you might be able to shut them down, slow them down. But you're going to have to really do something special to stop the Indiana Fever at the Fieldhouse. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. We're coming to you under the umbrella Too Hot Media Group. And we're getting it done also with Rock Nation and bringing it to you. The WNBA, Money Mike can tell you, is fantastic. I'm going to tell you, Kathy Engelbert got a little love in hip-hop, and every week, love in hip-hop, somebody's in a brawl. I don't think the WNBA needs to market that way, but I exhausted myself last year with Kathy Engelbert and the hard fouls and everything. I mean, they beat Caitlin to a pulp, right? I mean, they did. I mean, it was really bad, and now here we go again, except now these players are going to fight back, and it's going to get hostile. Now, is this something that you want to say is competition? I don't know if competition, if that player, if somebody gets body slammed, that's like the NFL, right? You can't body slam somebody on the head. They're going to get a concussion. And luckily, she didn't hit her head, was able to bop back up. But that behavior doesn't make the game better. But let's be honest. In hockey, there's fans that go to see the fight, right? I mean, hockey drew a lot of fans. They calmed it down, but their fans were coming to see the players fight. And in soccer, they call it hooligans, right? I mean, you got all this combustion, but it's not going to go away. The Indiana Fever is shining bright. That blew out Brazil. Got a couple more tough games coming. I can only call it how I can see it. Sophie Cunningham, you's a baller. You balled out. You held it together. They were in a treacherous spot, but you pulled them out of it. And that's what players are supposed to do in this league who are veterans, right? So you got to see where this one's going to go. And then Sykes went ahead and slammed Cunningham. And then you got Bonner stepping in there like, what the hell's wrong with you, right? So these things are building, but the Indiana Fever aren't running away. And I'll tell you this, the game is the game. Whether you play it today, tomorrow, or yesterday, it's still going to be the game. And you got to take the court. You got to beat the Indiana Fever first. You got to beat the Indiana Fever before you can challenge them. And then you're going to see a lot of times where teams are getting beat, then they're going to result to the physical play. That's the way it is. I don't know how you change that, but I'll tell you this. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. We're going to tell you all things are possible to those who believe. And at the end of the day, the WNBA is fantastic. I'm ready to roll. We're getting ready to get to the season opener. And, of course, you know that's Chicago versus Indiana. We're going to light it up. We'll see you soon.